Founded in 1870, Derbyshire County Cricket Club is one of the smaller yet most ambitious teams on the domestic circuit. The Honours Board remembers greats such as Arthur Richardson, the only Derbyshire captain to win the county championship, and Kim Barnett, their all-time leading run scorer. Since then, the club has struggled to reach the same heights, but fans understand that they must remain patient.
We've got a few promising young players coming through, such as Ben Slater and Harvey Hussain.
Derbyshire are a club in transition, and I think that they've got a few players coming through over the next few years, and they should be good for the seasons ahead.
Not expecting to win any trophies for a couple of seasons, but actually when they all come good together, who knows, that could be a really successful team.
The club is in the middle of a three-phase renovation process, which will see the ground have a dedicated media centre as well as conference and events facilities. The modernisation will give the club the chance to compete to host international matches, something which would drastically improve ticket sales. Matches still attract fans of all ages, and schools often bring large groups to watch the county's best players. But often the main stand remains largely empty during the longer format of the game, as four-day cricket continues its struggle to appeal to a younger audience. The team itself is going through a period of change since winning the County Championship Second Division title in 2012. Their only major silverware since 1993, Derbyshire were well deserving of their promotion. However, they struggled to adapt to life in Division 1 and were relegated the following year. Trying to build for the future, the club is now looking within for younger players to take the team forward. Led by their club captain, Wayne Madsen, many homegrown players have broken into the first team, keeping more experienced cricketers on the sidelines. Although there are highs and lows with any young side, the policy of trusting in youth is beginning to pay off on the field. One such player is Ben Slater, a Derbyshire-born opening batsman who has worked his way into the team following successful spells in local cricket and the academy setup.
I made my debut a couple of seasons ago. Didn't get into the side first half of last year, but broke my way in and scored a few runs back end of last year. And then started off all right this year, dropped off a little bit, but now try and get myself back in with good performances.
Growing up in the market town of Chesterfield, Slater began playing his cricket at his home ground. Queen's Park has given rise to a number of county players, and the Derbyshire squad appreciates the importance of having a link to local clubs.
If they're in a dip of form or you're out of the first team and playing second team cricket, go back and play for your club side on a weekend, it's invaluable, and I know all the lads at Derby love going to play for the club side, so yeah, definitely.
The league ultimately stands to exist to produce players for Derbyshire. That's just like county cricket exists to produce players to play for England. It should be the platform, and I can go back to Matt Lineker when he got his opportunity from the league, and if guys, and Paul Borrington continued to churn him out when he was at Derbyshire, and that's, it's important to increase the standard of that league by those guys playing, and B, give it a platform for people if they do well to get recognised. And we have guys, Tom Wood from Ticknall that's been playing second team cricket, and there's always guys knocking on the door from Derbyshire and Staffordshire actually, because obviously they're a feeder to Derbyshire, to get those opportunities. So I play for Swarkston, and I will do tomorrow because I'm not in the first team, and guys need to play. They need to bat if they're not in the team, and they need to keep churning out the runs and dominating that form of cricket to prove why they get paid for what they do, and help the teams out in the league.
A short distance from the famous Crooked Spire, Queen's Park has been closely associated with the Derbyshire County Cricket Club ever since 1898, when the first county match was played there. A well-established cricket club in their own right, Chesterfield still recognise their importance in the development process for young players.
I think we're in probably a bit of a transition phase with the club, and trying to bring some younger players through the team and give them the opportunity to bat and bowl, probably more than they ever had chance in previous years. So It's proving a little bit more difficult, but I think we're showing signs of it coming together. I played with Ben for a long time, probably since I came back to the club 11 years ago. I think he deserves everything he's got. His right attitude. I think he's worked so hard at his game this last sort of 18 months, and I think he's got the opportunity that he deserved, maybe probably slightly earlier, but I think he's out there to prove one or two people wrong, and he deserves all the success that he gets. From the outside looking in, I think there seems a little bit more structure at Derbyshire, and I think there's probably one or two more players who've had the opportunity that they may not have had before in previous years, and I think that's all for the better. It gives lads, particularly players in Premier League cricket, it gives them the thought process that there is that opportunity for them if they do work hard and become good enough.
Slater is the most recent success story for Chesterfield Cricket Club, and his potential was spotted at an early age by long-standing members of the club.
Ben played for our second team when he was about 11. He could play for adult cricket at that time. Now he can't if you're 11. And again, I can remember comments at the time that it's the best innings by an 11-year-old anybody's ever seen, kind of thing. He held an end up during the second team game when he was 11. He's always had some good connections, and certainly in recent times Derbyshire have used a lot of players playing in the Premier League in their teams.
It is not just at club and county level that this development process is appreciated. Even international stars appreciate clubs selecting players from local cricket and giving them the chance to progress to higher levels.
I think that's brilliant, because that's how it should operate. I know I came from local club cricket myself, from the village green. My dad used to play for a village team, and I used to go and field and do 12th man, so I came from there and then went on to play for England. So I think that sort of story and that sort of rise to fame, if you like, is fantastic, and the more of that the better, because the game, if that doesn't happen, then the game doesn't thrive. So it's actually the lifeblood, really, if you think about it in the long term. That has to happen for English cricket to do well, so the more often it happens the better. Yeah, definitely.
On the fringes of success, other young players continue to work hard and play club cricket to give themselves a chance of breaking into the county side.
Obviously I've been in and out of the county one-day team, and obviously played a couple of 4 days a couple of years ago, but I want to secure a spot in all forms, really, and obviously any higher than that is a bonus, and that's what everyone wants to play Test cricket when they're a youngster, so that's the goal, but obviously county is the main aim.
As well as utilising young players from club cricket, Derbyshire often hand-pick players at an early age to progress through the academy setup. Recently, young wicketkeeper Harvey Hussain has broken into the first 11 and believes his progression is down to the well-structured setup at Derbyshire.
I came through the academy. Before that I was on the young academy, and started in the age groups, under 13. Yeah.
And do you feel you've had ample opportunity then to progress and develop as a cricketer through that time?
Yeah, definitely. Being in the academy was, really good experience for 3 years, and I've always had opportunities. The coach, if you work hard, the coaches will always, trust in you and give you that opportunity to do well in it, and then it's up to you to, take that opportunity. But I think coming through the academy and then having played in the second team, it's a big learning curve, and with the help of Pop and Sads and the academy and everything, they push that learning curve and development really quickly.
Ticket sales for 4-day cricket remain low as the competition lacks the excitement of the shorter formats of the game. There is a worry that this format will fail to attract young fans and therefore young players. However, it is completely different for the T20 and 50-over formats of the game. Day-night matches attract large crowds and big-name overseas players. Played at a faster pace, with different regulations and even different kits, the one-day formats are a far cry from 4-day cricket. Although the sometimes extravagant shot selection does not always appeal to the purists. Undoubtedly, bringing in overseas talent brings valuable experience to any squad. However, the role of overseas players is constantly up for debate, and former players often disagree over the benefits they bring.
Getting an overseas for that role is it stifles the development of someone within the team, but that does anywhere in the team. When you bring in an overseas, it stifles someone's development. Who do you get? How do you get them? How many? I mean, they've had 4 overseas already in this competition. How do you keep hold of an overseas for the length of the competition? But yeah, someone to learn off, someone with more experience, like someone with 100 games.
Spectators like it. If it adds to the whole situation, and it's beneficial to the team and the club and the game itself, that's fine. But never lose sight that if England are playing well, England have got good players, top class players playing well, certainly a test match and international level, then the counties and lower levels will benefit from that anyway. So I think you've got to be careful you don't strangle the path for young players to move forward and play for England and eventually become international players. If you've got too many overseas players that can't play for England, or Colpack, or players with EU passports and all types of qualifications that are halting a young player's progress, then that can only be detrimental in the long run for the actual English game as a whole.
But the players feel the experience they can gain from the overseas talent is invaluable.
Lucky, so lucky really, in terms of the players and the calibre of player that we've had, and the experience that we can tap into that they've got. And of course it's a bonus to have those sorts of guys playing, and the young girls, the young guys only learn from that. And as I said, I think we've perhaps been that experienced head short in the middle order as well, so it's been great to play with them and great to learn off them. And Hamish particularly has given us some impetus since he's come in terms of the start of the innings. And I go back to when he hit Gurney over his head against Notts. I mean, that put him straight on the back foot. And small moments like that, where they can just have that impact and get us in the ascendancy. And we've had some fantastic players.
Current captain Wayne Madsen made his Derbyshire debut in 2009 after arriving from South Africa. One of a number of players in county cricket to make an international switch, this is another process that can often be detrimental for younger players.
I get a little bit annoyed if I mean, in the past we've got 1 or 2 players that have sort of it's been a horses for courses type of thing. If they could get in with one nation, they'd get in, and then if that didn't work, they'd try another one, and then they'd go back and try their own again. It's I get a little bit frustrated with that. But if a particular player is totally committed, they've moved here and they've put their roots down here and they've settled here and their families are here, if they stay here for a long enough period of time, don't ask me how long that period should be, and they're qualified and they've got a genuine commitment, then I haven't got a problem with that.
The player himself has always been fully committed to his county. Adding to Derbyshire's trophy cabinet in 2012, Madsen is helping the club to achieve its ambitions. Now qualified for England, he's set personal goals to take his progression even further.
This is my 7th season with Derbyshire, and I became England qualified at the start of the year. So obviously this season I haven't quite got the runs I would have liked so far. But I want to make sure that I'm scoring big and hopefully putting my name in the hat.
So is that something you see yourself wanting to do in the future one day? Obviously you've come over from South Africa, been here a long time. Do you now see yourself as a future England player?
Yeah, I do, and I think I saw that when I first started playing for Derbyshire. That was the goal, to become England qualified and to play for England. The opportunity is now there, and I got to make sure I'm scoring runs to get myself in with a chance.
With the obvious competition for places from well-established players and overseas talent coming in, is there still a desire for young players to make it as cricketers? Professional cricket is not all ice creams and sunny days on the village green. Matches are frequently subjected to long rain delays, which frustrate fans and players alike. Many young people see cricket as boring compared to sports such as football. The County Cricket Club in Derbyshire will always have to compete with the local football team when it comes to attracting fans and potential players. Although Derby County FC played their first ever match at the cricket ground, they have since grown into a massive club with a large following. There is little chance of the cricket club overtaking the Rams as the most popular sports team in the city. However, the current crop of academy players have had their sights set on the big time from a young age and show no signs of being distracted.
Well, I started playing cricket, obviously lived at the ground, my local ground called Chester. Started playing when I was like 5, and then came to Derbyshire 3 years ago now, so when I was 15. So yeah, progressed all the way through club cricket and now at the academy here, so yeah, really good. And I've pretty much been playing cricket as long as I can remember. They've extended it now to 19, the age range. It used to cut off once you finish school, so this would have been our last year, a couple of years ago. But yeah, we've got one more year left in the academy, which I think is good, just to lengthen it, give us another year, and then from there it's probably contract or maybe hopefully push into the second team and stuff.
Still at school, these young players have many doors open to them, but playing cricket remains at the forefront of their minds.
I've applied for uni, so if I stay on the academy for one more year, I'll probably go uni for that first year. Then, if I do get a contract, probably hold uni for a few years.
Lucky at Derbyshire because we have the Derby uni. We can get like a third of the fees there, I think. So we get looked after in that sense. So but yeah, there's opportunities for university and cricket as well. So it's doors quite open at the moment. You know, it doesn't just feel like say here's maybe the only route we've got. We've got plenty of years with uni and stuff. So.
The academy players coming through have the chance to learn from an experienced former Derbyshire and Nottinghamshire player. As head of the academy, Andrew Harris believes learning from current players is key to the development of academy hopefuls.
We've got 11 players in the academy, 10 of which are full-time, and the 11th has come on latterly. Matt Critchley has been playing in the first team, so effectively we've got 11. And we've still got a number of years development. We've got a range of ages from 16 up to 19. 2 guys have been on the academy for 3 years and they'll come to the end of the academy this time. And the rest have still got a number of years development yet, so it's difficult to say at this stage about playing first class cricket, but certainly the potential is there, definitely within them all. Previous academy players will come in and speak to the guys and sort of speak about the levels of expectancy at the next second team and first class and what they do on a day-to-day basis once they step into the professional ranks. So it gives these guys an understanding of what they're going to need to be doing day in, day out, and so that they can get the preparation done earlier. So like I say, they're ready to go pretty much from ball one if they step into the professional ranks, and they know what's expected of them from a fitness perspective, mental, physical, technical and tactical, sort of all the elements there. So they're fully prepared, and so they come in during the winter and speak to them.
Young players are clearly key to the future success of Derbyshire County Cricket Club. They could be the stars of the future, but far from feeling the pressure, they are taking it in their stride and enjoying the experience.